There is nothing like a good intro. When a game can nail that first 10 to 20 minute stretch standing on its own, it's an awesome feeling. Achieving that perfect mix of story introduction and gameplay instruction is tough though. But when a game gets it right, you can just feel it. Today I'm here to talk about the best video game introductions, the ones I think about even years after I've beaten the games they belong to. The games mentioned here are in no particular order, but every single one has meant something to me, and managed to start off on the right foot. Anyway, enough with my intro introducing my video on video game introductions. Let's get started. The release of BioShock meant a lot of things to a lot of people. It was fantastically written, the combat was fun and unique, the world was new and interesting, and of course, it was the spiritual successor to System Shock. But I've always been impressed with how well the first few minutes draw you into its world. It's a perfectly crafted tour of the emotional roller coaster you'll be riding for the rest of the game. Chaos, hope, intrigue, hesitation, wonder, and of course, fear. I'll never forget you, BioShock. You and all the creepy-ass citizens of Rapture.
Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System.
Anybody else see this one coming? The original Half-Life was revolutionary in so many ways, but the opening few minutes had to be the coolest thing I'd seen in a game when I first played it. It's pure world building, but you're not locked into a cutscene. Giving you just a little freedom during that tram ride was a brilliant move because it made it seem like you could miss something. There was always a reason to go back and see what other interesting things you could pick out, like it was a living, breathing world. And of course, it also made the Black Mesa facility seem larger than life, and established that maybe this wasn't the safest company of all time. When the gameplay is simple and intuitive, like in Half-Life, story and character can take more of the spotlight, and no game makes that more clear than this one.
Now arriving at Sector C Test Labs and Control Facilities.
Oh man, I used to hate Batman. Billionaire with too many toys and too much teenage angst. Yep, that's what I used to call him. Please don't kill me. But all that changed with the release of Arkham Asylum. The opening cutscene quickly establishes everything you need to know. Arkham Asylum is a place where the worst criminals go, Batman's captured the Joker, and he's delivering him there. What follows is a 10-minute walk, and it establishes that the Joker has been there many, many times before, and Batman has a bad feeling about this particular admittance. It's obvious the entire time what's going to happen, but getting to walk through the asylum, see how the guards and doctors interact with the Joker, and how he interacts with them and the other inmates.
What's up, Doc? Pencil me in for tomorrow at 4. We've got a lot of catching up to do.
There's a lot of very, very subtle world building that goes on here. They even managed to sneak a sort of Chekhov's gun in there.
I've got your scent, Batman. I will hunt you down.
And by the end of it, all you feel like doing is recapturing the Joker. The game makes you feel like you are Batman. Like you're the one that failed to bring him all the way to his cell. And then you get to the rest of the game, which, aside from the final boss fight, is among the best I've ever played. Ugh, I love you, Rocksteady.
Looking forward to watching you. Why didn't you just come find me?
I know I said that games should be able to stand on their own during the intro, and I meant it, But there's an exception to every rule, and Mass Effect 2 is it. The introduction is chaotic and probably really confusing for new players, but for every single one of us that went through the original Mass Effect, we see our friends get killed, our ship get destroyed, and oh yeah, you die before the opening credits. I mean, I can't believe that BioWare was able to put a cliffhanger ending in the introduction and actually pull it off. In the span of 10 minutes, they set up a villain for you to go after and a very personal motive for doing so, and you get invested enough to gladly watch the opening credits because you're wondering where the game could possibly go from there. Oh, Mass Effect 2. It really was the best in the series, wasn't it?
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really, seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
Gone Home may not be as well known as the other games on this list, but man did it nail its first couple minutes. Like BioShock, it's a microcosm for what you'll get to experience in the rest of the game. You'll get to know the main character, solve a little puzzle, try and find your family, wonder about what's really going on, and creep around looking at their personal stuff. Then repeat. It wastes no time getting you into the game and gives you all the information you need to enjoy it. It's short, sweet, and just an awesome game in general. Yep, another Valve game. What can I say? They know what they're doing. While the sequel is amazing in its own right.
Do you understand what I'm saying at all? Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me, just say yes. Okay, what you're doing there is jumping. You just jumped.
The first Portal's opening minutes combine story, intrigue, character, and gameplay tutorials so perfectly and seamlessly that I can barely call this one an introduction. There's no end of cutscene, title screen, or signal of any kind that tells the player, okay, now you're playing the game. You're invested from the moment you hear that crazy music and see that ticking clock. And then, bam! You're just defying the laws of physics. Man, this game was great. My only regret is that I can only play it the first time once. Okay, so I kind of implied that Mass Effect 2 was the only exception to the rule, but that doesn't mean Assassin's Creed can't be one too. Sure, it's a sequel, but the game had a tough task ahead of it. How to make players care about a new main character. They chose to do it like this.
It is a good life we lead, brother.
At best, may it never change.
And may it never change us.
And in all honesty, maybe this one only works in hindsight. But everything Ezio goes through in the next 3 games happens because of that scene. All of the choices he makes, all of the characters he meets, all of the killing that happens by or because of him, all of the change, to have him there as a kid with all of that before him, it's a thing of beauty, guys. A thing of beauty. And there you have it. No, really, that's all I got. You may have noticed that I might have missed some of your favorite games. Tell me about them. Seriously, I want to hear about what you think makes a good intro. The experiences that you've had that made you love a game so much only seconds after you started. Who knows? Your game could end up on a future list. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time.